Welcome back to the Dark Moon Mystery School. Today we're going slightly darker, and we're going to peel back the layers of the strange and unexplained. It's kind of annoyed me for a while because it's like I like pointing out the elephant in the room. And at the moment, we're venturing into a world that's both familiar and deeply unsettling. I'm not one that follows celebrity culture. I don't have TV. I haven't really watched much TV in like over 30 years. I'm quite happy that way. And I just get the very, very peripheral view of what celebrity culture is all about. And I kind of turn away. It's like, it's none of my business what happens to other people. And if I watch movies, then I admire the actor for the acting abilities. I don't need to know their political standpoint or what they think on various subjects. They just need to do a good job for me. But I see the glitz and the glamour and the endless parade of award shows and red carpets. But to me, that there is a darker current running beneath the surface. What if the constant stream of celebrity humiliation we witness isn't just a harmless entertainment, but something far more calculated, far more ritualistic? There's certainly, I know ritual magic, I know dark magics, if you like, manipulation magics, vampiric magics. Those are all my areas of speciality. And what I'm seeing in the culture around celebrities is very clearly ritualistic humiliation. So I want to be looking at the potential links between the public humiliations and things like the MK Ultra mind control program. Now, this is the obvious one. This is like the go-to thing when you're looking for what in Britain we call the nudge unit, psychological nudging. During COVID, there was an awful lot of psychological nudging going on, and they were open about it. They actually came out and told us. So if I mentioned MK Ultra, I'm talking about psychological nudging, right? And it's often misunderstood how close this comes to the realm of occult chaos magic, because chaos magic is this in another form. Okay, so this is where it gets weird, if it hasn't got so already. So we're going to delve into the shadowy intersections of culture, power, and the psyche. Today we're exploring the controversial and often whispered about world of humiliation rituals amongst the celebrities and the rich, drawing parallels to the historic mind control experiments like MK Ultra and COVID, and the practices of occult chaos magic. Just to throw that in. I'm your hostess, Kate Sylvanus, and I want to dive into this enigmatic topic. Think about it. How often do we see celebrities subject to public ridicule? It's practically a staple of late-night television, award show roasts, and even the feel-good talk shows. I see some of these, and I'm like cringing with embarrassment for these people. We're talking about the situations where famous individuals, seemingly unwilling participants, are they unwilling? I don't think so. Placed in positions of extreme awkwardness forced to endure the jokes at their expense, or even participate in really, really degrading stunts. There's a show, when I had to research this, there's a show that Ellen DeGeneres show. Now, I've never actually seen this. I know her from various movies that she's been in. And I looked at a few just to research here, and it's focused as light-hearted, and I didn't find it that light-hearted. I found it rather nasty. It had pranks that left me feeling uncomfortable, let alone the guests. And the award show monologues, where Ricky Gervais got up and roasted the target celebrities in the audience, often focusing on their physical appearance, personal lives, or recent things they'd screwed up on. Reality TV seems to thrive on this dynamic, and the more I looked into it, the more obvious and clear that it forces contestants into humiliating challenges for the sake of entertainment. Right, now, how entertainment is that? Well, I'm one that don't find that entertaining. I find it cruel, it's bitter, it's kind of mean-spiritedness and bitchiness. It doesn't feel like harmless fun, right? And it might be just me, but is there something more insidious purpose at play, which is what my question was. Are these celebrities truly in on a joke, or are they being manipulated, subtly coerced into playing a role in the larger make a larger spectacle of themselves? Okay, so firstly, let's discuss what we mean by humiliation rituals. They're moments when high-profile figures, particularly in entertainment, experience a public or semi-public event that could be interpreted as degraded or humbling. Right. Now, for example, the Grammy Awards. There was some kid wearing a house on his head, but that wasn't half as bad as some girlfriend who was absolutely naked. All right, see-through dress or what have you. But for me, that would have been the most humiliating thing out, to appear someone in absolutely naked. Now, okay, she looked like she was like a deer in headlights. This was a humiliation ritual. There was also John Cena's nude presentation at the 2024 Oscars, right? Which is like, well, it was suggested also there that in my research it was a ritualistic exposure to public shame or control, right? So, okay, another one was Britney Spears. I remember her when she was a lot younger and singing and dancing, looking cute. But she's had breakdowns, apparently, and it's been really like, what the heck has been going on with her? Public moments orchestrated for psychological manipulation or control. This isn't normal, okay? These events are often seen as moments of vulnerability. But what other purpose are there? I can't help looking for something darker. In the mid-20th century, the CIA had this really deep, dark program called the MK Ultra, which has had a lot of publicity over the years. It was a clandestine project shrouded in secrecy aimed to develop techniques for mind control. Where many of its methods remain classified, declassified documents reveal a disturbing pattern of psychological torture and hallucinogenic drugs, such as LSD and even hypnosis. The goal was to break down the individual's sense of self and to make them more susceptible to manipulation and control. Right, what are we seeing here? Now, fast forward today, and we're not suggesting that the celebrities are being subject to literal torture chambers. Nah. But some theorists, not me, I'm just reading this stuff, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I wasn't far off the mark. They posit that these public humiliation rituals could be a modern, more subtle form of mind control. By repeating subjecting individuals to public shaming, chipping away at their integrity and self-respect, are they being broken down psychologically? Are they being conditioned to accept a narrative, conform to a certain image, and ultimately become more compliant? Right, that's what it says. That's what it says out there. I'm going to add another little thing. Are they doing it for power? The power of manipulation others, the power of the image, the power of the word, spelling. We're talking about magic here. The power over others to hypnotize, to enchant. These are all in our histories and in our traditions. Add LSD, sensory deprivation, and psychological torture, disassociate states, or even multiple personalities. I think Britney Spears is probably a candidate there. She once was sweet and innocent. Now look. You see, the idea is breaking down someone's psyche. You can rebuild it in a way that serves your agenda, right? That's all what it says in the psychological texts, right? So there's speculation that similar techniques could be used to control celebrities, perhaps through orchestrated public humiliations, as a form of psychological manipulation or programming. So in other words, this isn't me. This is out there. This is the internet. Right. So I'm going to throw chaos magic into this because it is aimed in that direction, right? So I'm going to throw some esoteric, which is my field. I understand this one. It's a relative recent, in other words, it only goes back sort of the 60s, the 70s sort of thing. It emphasizes achieving results through ritual and intention. So you focus on something, you have a ritual, and the outcome is there for you, right? It pushes boundaries. Okay, this is where I get excited about it because it's like, yeah, and it braces transgression, and it even incorporates elements of humiliation. The idea is by deliberately disrupting established norms and structures, you can tap into a very, very raw, basic, unfiltered form of magic power. So some research has drawn parallels between chaos magic principles, and I'm drawing a parallel between the public humiliation of celebrities. They suggest that these rituals, whether consciously planned or not, could be serving as a form of symbolic sacrifice, a way to channel energy and influence the collective consciousness. Now, there we have it in a nutshell. They are trying to adapt our reality. So a reality where the people you look up to, the shining ones, the shining stars of our celebrities, are degraded and made to look silly, stupid, cringeworthy. And this is a symbolic act of dethroning. Are these unplanned or not? You see, I wrote this down saying, is this an actual ritual that has been planned, or is it just mistaken? Maybe they just enjoy the humiliation. Do they get off on it? Is it a kink, a sexual kink? I'm willing to throw that some of these things that I have stated may be looked at that way. Maybe it was a misunderstanding, but all of them, the humiliation of a public figure, someone who represents success and stated, is a symbolic act of dethroning, a ritual designed to achieve a specific outcome within a very, very chaotic framework. So what do they get out of it? What are they promised? Why are they doing this? And what do they think they get out of it? So, okay, I'm going to talk about chaos magic, which is my speciality. It's harnessing belief to achieve and desire. So belief and desire. I want this, right? I want something to happen. And I'm going to achieve magical results without the constraints of traditional rituals. So you don't want a bell, a book, and a candle, right? You don't want to pray to a deity to infuse your life with this. That's the right-hand path. Right-hand path prays to a deity to inform. Now, a left-hand path, which is more of the chaos, is in bring up the power within you. So you find the conscious level and invoke your higher self, if you like, the divine within. And you push it through being made to feel uncomfortable. That's one way. It's flexibility in your belief. You've got to believe, right? So you can change your psychological state by really believing in something. And you use symbols. Actually, runic magic is quite fun. Methods to effect change, which can include humiliation as a ritualistic act to break down and rebuild the self. So, public performances by artists, Beyonce and Kanye West, I don't know. I can't even pronounce these. I'm not familiar with the celebrity world. They've got a whole, there was Sam Smith with his devil stuff. There's an awful lot of antichrist stuff going on out there. Like they're degrading Christ, and I'm not Christian. It doesn't really worry me, but it worries a lot of people, and that worry will shift and cause a ripple in the chaotic consciousness that we have. So There's no smoking gun here. There's no definite proof of linking this. However, I'm a pattern recognition person. I see patterns everywhere I go. Parallels are undeniable in my world. Okay, so I'm not saying every talk show host is a secret agent or that every award show is a satanic ritual, but it's close. It's worth considering the possibility that there's a lot more to these public spectacles than meets the eye. So that's how I'm looking at it. How are you looking at it? What do you think? Okay, if you have more experience of me than me looking at the celebrities world and seeing these counter mainstream things in the mainstream. So how often do you see a naked woman go down a red carpet? I don't know. I'm not an expert, but when I saw it, I was kind of shocked. It's like, oh, that's not very classy. She's meant to be wearing a pretty dress, and we all admire the dress. So are we seeing coincidences, or is there a darker, more orchestrated agenda at work? Now, I understand. Tread carefully, right? The narrative of control through humiliation, occult practice is compelling, but it's largely speculative unless you've got experience of occult magic. I've willed things into existence. I've manifested through occult magic. I've done through ritual magic. I've never touched humiliation rituals, but I've touched other ones, and yes, I personally have proof of that, but I can't suggest that you do. So you can speculate on that my experience is, but you can't see the fact that maybe these celebrities are gaining a power. Maybe they are being mastered. They're being like puppets, and they will be gaining energy, power through this. We don't know that. That's all speculation. So yes, what are the sources? You see, the sources of this is only what we see, images on a computer or a television that now are being totally and utterly disproved because it could be an AI. It could be a total fantasy. This could be an AI fantasy. It could be everything seems to be AI controlled. So we're not quite sure of our own realities right now. So what we see on electrical public platforms, all could be manipulated. I freely accept that. So it's a conspiracy culture where sensationalism can overshadow factual reporting. So they're fascinating. So my idea of the pattern recognition and the experience I've had in esoteric occult magic, I can't prove that to anybody, right? So it's all speculative, and they're not scientifically validated. Yeah, science needs to stretch itself a bit more. It's also the human capacity for drama, right? They're getting noticed, and that I get as well. So any mistakes, genuine mental health issues, right? Without attributing every event to a hidden agenda. Okay, so I'm acknowledging that mental health issues could be at play here, and even just looking for drama and looking for clickbait, that sort of thing. So it's a rich tapestry for speculation. I'm going to balance intrigue with skepticism. What's clear is that the intersection of fame, psychology, and spirituality is complex, often leaving us with more questions than answers. I hate that. I hate that there's more questions here, over and over and over. It's like an X-file. You go away feeling most unsatisfied. So at the end, I've written, do your own research. Truth is often stranger than fiction. Yes, you can almost hear the X-Files tunes there. So again, I have to say that this podcast is for informational entertainment purposes. The views expressed here, yeah, blah da 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 da. But it has been fun looking at this. It has been fun looking and researching outside my experiences and seeing much more patterns. There are so many more patterns of humiliation rituals that are going on in plain sight of everybody. And yeah, it's almost like who's they? The people that are controlling these rituals, they're flaunting themselves flaunting themselves like a naked woman on a catwalk. It's that sort of level of, okay. So I haven't got an answer here. I'd be interested to hear your comments. So if you'd like to leave some comments for me, that would be great. Okay, love you lots. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye now.